Tonight, a new way for police officers in Converse to stay mobile on patrol. A recommendation from the San Antonio Zoning Commission on whether to turn an Eastside church into a migrant shelter. Plus, new details in the ambush of an American family traveling in Mexico and why officials there believe it happened. Thanks for joining us for KSAT News at 9. I'm Myra Arthur. A bombshell revelation today concerning Twitter. An unsealed court complaint reveals the Saudi government recruited Twitter employees to gather personal information about thousands of critics of their government. The accounts included those of a popular journalist with more than 1 million followers and other prominent government critics, all according to the Associated Press. It also alleges that the employees whose jobs did not require access to Twitter users' private information were rewarded with a designer watch and tens of thousands of dollars funneled into secret bank accounts. They were charged with acting as agents of Saudi Arabia without registering with the U.S. government. Back here at home, creeping up on criminals, Converse police rolling out new bike patrol units. They'll be used to gather information on criminal activity and tackle problem neighborhoods. It's a program that was dissolved years ago after members of the force either got promoted or moved to other cities. Patty Santos tells us why the agency felt it was time to bring back this specialized unit.
That faint bicycle chain sound is all the warning criminals will get now that 6 Converse police bike patrol officers are on the streets.
We can literally get on top of those drug deals before they even know what's happened.
Iris Mata and Thomas Richardson are part of that team.
It's a lot about just getting out with the community and letting them know that we're just like them.
The agency just invested $7,000 on bikes, uniforms, and other equipment to bring back the specialized unit that was once dissolved. Bike officers will be able to zero in on parks, community events, shopping centers, construction sites, but more importantly, connect.
We're going to overtake some areas that need help. They need more police presence. They need more police interaction.
Richardson has spent nearly all of his 3 decades as a bike patrol officer, most of it with SAPD. He was hired to train the new team. He hopes the team will grow to 10 by next spring.
The criminal element just ain't got a chance. Once we get this all going, they're sunk, they're lost.
It's just one of the many tools police will use to fight crime in a city facing the growing pains of annexation. And Mata is already seeing the rapport she's building with the community by ditching the patrol car.
Kids love it. You know, are you a real police officer? But you're on a bike. Where's your car? I think the number one question is, where do you put somebody when you arrest them?
For the 9, Patty Santos.
It is a no from the San Antonio Zoning Commission. Today, it voted 8-3, recommending against turning part of an Eastside church into a migrant shelter for young boys. Today, District 2 City Councilwoman Jada Andrews Sullivan said the commission's decision was based on longtime guidelines set by the city and that it was not intended to infringe on the rights of the church, as its attorney suggests. The church declining to comment today, but did say that members are now discussing their options. Andrew Sullivan says she hopes it does not include detaining children.
The children that will be housed there are not able to leave. They're locked up and they're under secure lockup for 24 hours, 7 days a week.
The move to rezone the church as a detention center comes down to a city council vote, and that vote is expected to happen on November 15th. We'll keep you posted. A pickup truck slams into an apartment building south of downtown. Authorities in Mexico now searching for the gunman who ambushed an American family. And a federal judge bans a rule that would have allowed healthcare workers to refuse care based on religious reasons. This is tonight's 9 at 9. 2 people wanted in connection with the murder of a New Hampshire couple near Corpus Christi have been captured. Adam Williams and Amanda Nover are suspects in the deaths of James and Michelle Butler. Their bodies were found in a shallow grave on Padre Island last week.
Were they a soft target? That's anyone's guess, and of course that's the million-dollar question at this point, what the motive was. Nobody seems to know that.
San Antonio police say it was a medical episode that caused a man to slam his pickup truck into the side of an apartment building. The truck took out 2 pillars on a porch and broke a hole through the outside wall.
I was about to leave, and then I heard a loud boom, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what was that?
Police say a passerby got the driver out of his truck. San Antonio fire crews called out to a home on New Laredo Highway where they found Halloween decorations burning outside of a third-floor apartment. The flames set off the sprinkler system and fire alarm. Investigators aren't sure how those decorations caught fire. Arson now investigating this case. Authorities in Mexico are hunting for the gunman who ambushed an American family, killing 3 mothers and 6 children. Officials believe drug traffickers are responsible. They say more than 200 shots were fired and that the shooters possibly confused the family with a rival gang.
I believe they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
5 children escaped and are being treated in Arizona. A federal judge in New York has blocked the Trump administration's conscience rule, which would allow healthcare workers to refuse care for religious reasons. That includes abortions, sterilization, and assisted suicide. It also has the potential to impact transgender patients seeking care. The rule was initially slated to go into effect November 22nd. More than 37 million people have been infected worldwide with HIV or AIDS, and now a new strain of the virus has been identified. It's the first time in 20 years a subtype has been found. Health officials say the newly identified strain is more like an ancestral strain and is likely circulating in the Democratic Republic of Congo. A North Carolina teacher charged with having sex with a student was found dead inside her home. Police are calling it a murder-suicide after finding her husband dead too.
It's a very unfortunate situation. It's not a very common thing that we see here in Huntersville. So when it happens, it's shocking. But our detectives are doing everything they can.
The 63-year-old high school teacher was arrested just a week ago for allegedly having a sexual relationship with a student. What was once a cute 3-bedroom house on the edge of Lake Michigan in Wisconsin, now rubble. Demolition crews tore down what was left of the home after big chunks of the house began falling into the lake last year. The house was scheduled to be demolished a few times over the past year, but it was put off due to equipment problems and weather. Scientists say last month was the warmest October on record around the world. Last month narrowly edged out the previous record for October, set back in 2015. And it's not just October. Every month so far this year has ranked as one of the warmest for that month. To read more about these 9 stories, go to ksat.com/news@9.
Sarah Spivey joining us tonight, and we got some big changes. Temperatures that are no joke headed this way.
Yeah, for real. We're going to go from the 70s tomorrow to the 40s in a matter of 12 hours. So it's going to get cold, and it'll even feel like it's in the 20s at some point. Yeah, it is going to be very, very chilly. Let's go ahead and take a look at the almanac. You can see that it's 83 degrees outside. That was the high temperature for the day. That's well above average by 7 degrees. And even this morning, our morning lows were in the 70s. That's a summertime low temperature. And we actually got a little bit of rain out of that this morning, about 400ths of an inch of rainfall. But we have got a very interesting day tomorrow. So let's break out the gift cast and let's talk about tomorrow in the morning. It's going to be more of the same, okay? Very icky, very sticky, 68 degrees in the morning, clouds and sprinkles. And then right around the lunch hour, that's when things start to get pretty exciting, okay? That's when that cold front is going to move through. We'll go from the 70s into the 60s. Winds will kick out of the north at about 20 miles per hour. We'll also see light rain throughout the day as well, especially when that front moves through around the lunch hour. And then very quickly, temperatures are going to fall from the 60s to the 50s to the 40s with wind chills in the 30s. So it is going to feel very cold in the afternoon. It's going to be not only a roller coaster of temperatures, I suspect a roller coaster of emotions for people tomorrow as well. Myra, we are going to have more scattered rain in the evening as well. So I'll be back to detail this a little bit more in depth, but I thought we'd have some fun with it today.
That's going to be the face of a lot of reporters tomorrow and Friday.
Yeah, as they're outside.
We have to go outside.
Especially by Friday morning.
We appreciate all of their hard work.
We do.
We'll say that now, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah. We'll be back in just 1 minute. You're watching KSAT News at 9. Yesterday marked the first Bexar County election using new voting machines and allowing voters to cast ballots at any polling location. Election staff says that might be the reason why turnout was higher than usual. But trial runs typically come with some hiccups. Courtney Friedman talked with the county elections administrator about some of those issues and how she plans to fix them for next year.
A major highlight from this election, voter turnout.
We had a wonderful turnout, where in the last election, our total was 38,000. Yesterday alone, we did 56,000 people.
Bexar County Elections Administrator Jackie Callanan says that unexpected turnout revealed some growing pains for her office, which just rolled out new machines and allowed people to vote at any polling site.
We had times where we were getting very short on card stock in some of the locations.
Some viewers told us voting was a breeze. Others had a tough time. One woman said she went to 3 different polling sites that didn't have that card stock.
It was a great lessons learned. I know that's not enough for the people who were standing in line, and for that, we're sorry.
Callanan made sure to reiterate no voter was turned away. They use smaller machines that can be brought out to the curbside, typically used for the disabled, but can also be utilized as a backup system.
In Texas, this is called a blended system that we purchased. It's absolutely certified, it's approved, and it's called the Express Touch, which is basically a larger tablet.
With paper ballots, new electronic machines, and the smaller backup tablets, election staff tried to navigate a new workflow, and counting the votes took 2 hours longer than usual.
Please don't expect it to be the norm.
For the 9, Courtney Friedman.
And 9 of the 10 state amendments on the ballot yesterday received support from voters last night, including Proposition 4. That's where the majority of voters said yes to prohibiting the state from creating an income tax. You can find all the election night results right now on our website, right here at KSAT.com. Meantime, the next presidential election still a year away, but results from some races around the country last night have a lot of people wondering if it's a sign of what's to come. Democrats claiming victories in multiple races, including in the race for governor in Kentucky. Andy Bashar clinched a victory over incumbent Republican Governor Matt Bevin. But Bevin is still refusing to concede, calling for a recanvass of the votes today. President Donald Trump also seemed to tie that race to presidential politics.
If you lose, they're going to say Trump suffered the greatest defeat in the history of the world. This was the greatest. You can't let that happen to me.
Meanwhile, in Virginia, the former red state turned blue as Democrats now control all branches of power for the first time in a generation. Open door hearings in the presidential impeachment inquiry will officially get underway in the coming week. Many of the same key players who took part in closed door depositions will be the first that the public will hear from, rather. Career State Department official George Kent and acting Ukraine ambassador William Taylor will be heard next Wednesday. But first, the House Intelligence Committee leading the inquiry will hear from former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, on Friday. All 3 have already testified behind closed doors.
So those open hearings will be an opportunity for the American people to evaluate the witnesses for themselves, to make their own determinations about the credibility of the witnesses.
William Taylor's closed-door transcript was made public today in relation to the now infamous quid pro quo. It outlined his understanding that security assistance money would not come until the president of Ukraine committed to pursue the investigation into former Vice President Joe Biden and his son. Let's turn now to some of tonight's other top stories. Former Attorney General Jeff Sessions is poised to announce his candidacy for the Alabama Senate race tomorrow. That's what a Republican official familiar with the plan told CNN. A second Republican familiar with the matter said that Sessions has not spoken directly with President Donald Trump nor Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell about his decision. Sessions was a senator before stepping down to become Trump's attorney general. Last November, the president asked Sessions to resign, effectively firing him. Four freshman Democratic congresswomen of color, known as the Squad, are now split on who they support for president. Representative Ayanna Pressley announced her endorsement of Senator Elizabeth Warren in a video today. Pressley says she, quote, can't wait, end quote, to call Warren her president. The rest of the Squad, Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rashida Tlaib, and Ilhan Omar, previously endorsed Senator Bernie Sanders. Warren responded to Pressley's announcement in a tweet thanking her for her support. Hundreds of people protested the First Lady's visit to a Boston hospital today. First Lady Melania Trump was at Boston Medical Center to visit a treatment program for infants who are born drug dependent. Inside, she received a warm welcome from hospital executives, but some 300 hospital workers outside voiced their opposition. Some wore coats that read, "We really do care, do you?" That's a reference to a jacket that she wore while leaving the White House that read, "I really don't care, do you?" Sarah Spivey back with us. Sarah Spivey. Sarah Spivey is back with us tonight to talk about this cold front. It's all about timing.
Yeah.
Because things are going to be kind of all over the map for part of the day tomorrow.
They are. The way I like to think about it is in the first part of the day, you're going to be wearing short sleeves. By the end of the day, you're going to be wearing your parkas. That's how cold it's going to be. The parka. Bust out the parkas. Because Sarah Spivey says so. Mild and muggy tomorrow morning with just a few pockets of light rain out there. But right around noon and shortly thereafter, that's when things are going to change for us with the passage of that cold front. Very quickly, temperatures will fall into the 50s by 4, and then by the evening into the 40s. It's going to be chilly and windy with winds from the north up to 25 miles per hour. Gusts probably sometimes up to 50 miles per hour. It's quiet across south central Texas right now, but you take a wider view, you can see all the heavier rain in North Texas near the Red River. There's where the front is right now, and look at these temperatures behind this front. This is how we know this front is going to pack a punch. Temperatures are falling in the 20s behind that front. Now, we won't get down into the 20s, but we are going to see temperatures get down by about 30 to 40 degrees. So let's take you through the futurecast, even some wintry precip up in the panhandle of Texas by early tomorrow morning. It's going to continue to rain in North Texas. That light rain will make it to San Antonio by again about the lunch hour, and then throughout the rest of the afternoon, after the front has moved through, we're going to see areas of scattered light rain. We're not going to see much in the way of rainfall. Probably in some places only about 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of rain, but it is going to be that light rain that kind of just continues in the evening. The other catch is how windy it's going to be. This is a look at wind gusts by Friday morning. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. So as temperatures fall to near 40 degrees by the start of the morning on Friday, the wind chill is going to be in the 20s. In some places up in the hill country, the wind chill will be in the teens. So yeah, this is a real deal cold front. And on top of that, we're going to get another front by the early start of next week. And this one is going to be even stronger. Temperatures are going to fall to near freezing for the mornings on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. So, Myra, we have got a lot in the forecast over the next several days. The weekend is at least not going to be that rainy, but Veterans Day, that's when we expect that next front. It's going to be interesting to see fronts like this in November back to back.
I don't know if I'm right, but that looks like the coolest stretch of 7 days that we've seen since the summer, for sure.
You're absolutely right. Probably since as early as March or February.
'Tis the season.
Yes, it is.
Thanks, Sarah. It's almost time for the next U.S. Census. The San Antonio Area Foundation is granting $200,000 to help get the 2020 census completed. The census is done every 10 years to get the most accurate count of the population, which then in turn helps with things like federal funding and determining government representation. The grant money will be used by the Census Committee to improve ongoing strategies and create new operations.
And helping everyone in our community understand that their privacy is maintained during the census process. They're not registered in any kind of justice database. There's not any kind of registration other than the fact that we want to make sure we count the number of individuals that are in our community.
Mayor Ron Nierenberg says about 25% of San Antonio is undercounted. It's only the first week of November, but it's already that time of year to start thinking about getting your holiday gifts in the mail. The U.S. Postal Service has released ship-by dates for this year. Some ground shipping deadlines for overseas military destinations, they've already passed. The deadline for first-class mail and packages is December 20th for regular mail to arrive by Christmas. The priority mail deadline is then on December 21st. The priority mail express deadline is December 23rd, if you like to push it, but that is going to cost you some big bucks. Check USPS.gov for a full list of domestic and international holiday shipping deadlines. Our KSAT community is teaming up with the San Antonio Police Department and the nonprofit Zapatos this month to help share the shoes. And you can help. You can donate new shoes for kids by dropping them off at any SAPD substation throughout the month of November. Last year, the Share the Shoes drive collected more than 1,200 pairs of shoes to donate to local kids. San Antonio Police hoping to beat that record this year. There are 6 SAPD substations open 24 hours a day where you can donate. RJ Marquez is here now to tell us what is trending tonight on KSAT.com.
All right, Myra, a lot of interesting things on our website, and we start first with this pretty cool collection of apparel gear that's gonna be sold at the Spurs game this Saturday.
Okay.
So this is military-inspired hats and duffel bags, and this is gonna be part of the Spurs salute night at the AT&T Center. So fans in attendance are gonna be able to grab some of this gear. This is a limited edition gear that the Spurs are just releasing for that evening.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
The hats have kind of an old school feel to them too.
Yeah,
right?
definitely an old school feel. The Spurs logo also kind of mixed in with that camouflage look, or kind of that brown military style look. So pretty cool stuff. I actually have been emailing the owner of this company. It's called Old Enfield, and he's a veteran and he lives in Austin. So he said that the Spurs kind of approached him about this idea.
Oh,
so
that's
pretty
really
cool
neat.
stuff. Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be a big hit.
Yeah.
It's new Spurs gear.
Exactly.
Right?
New Spurs gear is always a good thing. So check that out on our website, KSAT.com. All right, moving on here. All right, we are officially getting into the holiday spirit here.
Ready or not?
I say that, yeah, kind of sarcastically. But Starbucks is going to give away these free reusable red cups, and this is going to start tomorrow. So you could just imagine the lines that are going to be at Starbucks.
So is this has to be like a limited time offer or
right,
something like
yeah,
that?
Until supplies last. So,
okay. What was the deal with the red cups last year? Wasn't there some...
I feel like there's always some sort of
Was it somebody didn't like the design or something like that?
Yes,
okay, our
we have,
peanut gallery is nodding.
Andrew and Ivan, yes, they are nodding. And also, I think like the wording on the cups. So this year they said, "Merry Coffee" is on the reusable.
Merry Coffee. Okay.
Kind of keeping it as simple as possible.
Just stick to the reason we're all at Starbucks.
Yeah. And so in order to get this reusable cup, you have to actually buy one of these special holiday themed beverages. And some of these I can't even pronounce for the life of me here.
Okay, so you just want plain old coffee. You're out of luck.
Yeah, you might be out of luck there. You got to get this salted caramel mocha, caramel brulee latte. Ivan's loving this stuff.
Yes, Ivan and Andrew make up our peanut gallery, by the way.
There we go. So if you want
That's
more
Andrew's
information.
Laugh that you typically
yeah,
hear
it's very
during
common during this time of the evening.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty cool there. Yeah, are you Starbucks person? Or?
I like Starbucks. I'm not into all the seasonal
the
drinks. I kind of stick to pretty basic coffee, iced coffee.
Yeah. All right. Last story here. Speaking of the holidays, Pringles. Okay, this is one of these like weird
what
food
is going
concoctions.
on? How are we doing this in a potato chip? But explain.
Yeah. Okay, so they've unveiled a turducken flavored chip. So turducken, I think I maybe had this once. I can't even remember, but it's like the turkey,
the duck, and the chicken, right? Yes, somehow all stuffed into one meat concoction.
Yes. What's funny is that they're kind of pushing this as, hey, don't worry about making that Thanksgiving feast this year. Just buy Pringles.
Put Pringles on the table and everybody will be really happy.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to fly.
Here's my theory. When you've got so much turkey left and you've eaten about as many turkey sandwiches as you can stand, maybe You pair it with some turducken.
I guess so.
chips.
Yeah, that might make sense. That'd probably be the only way that
Right?
I would, want to eat this.
Yeah.
So if you guys want more information on these turducken favorite chips, just go to our website, KSAT.com.
Okay, I gotta ask, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Oh my God. I really like my mother-in-law's dressing.
Yeah.
It is
Dressing,
yes,
okay.
on point.
So I call it stuffing.
Yeah, okay.
Even though we don't actually put
Yes.
it in the
Yeah,
turkey.
yeah.
But
It's-
yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah,
It's a
really good
staple.
stuff. Oh yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
not the turducken chips.
Not the
but
turducken chips.
Try at your own risk. Thanks, RJ.
Thank you, Myra.
We'll be right back.
This is your daily tech and business briefing from Cheddar. The marriage between T-Mobile and Sprint just received the government's blessing. The FCC approving the telecom merger with a vote on party lines. The combined company will take on the name T-Mobile. Several state attorneys general continue to contest the deal. And Tesla's expanding in China. The automaker says it will double the number of maintenance shops, add new charging ports, and spur some showrooms across the country, all as its Shanghai plant gets closer to opening. China is the biggest EV market in the world. And Boeing will spend $1 billion on a pilot training program designed to reduce the risks that contributed to the two fatal 737 MAX crashes. The Global Aviation Safety Initiative is part of a huge push from Boeing to regain trust with the public, regulators, and pilots. And that's your Cheddar Business and Tech Update. I'm Kristen Schiller from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
Thanks for watching the news at 9. That is all our time tonight. I'm Myra Arthur, and we'll see you next time.